Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of PPR Esports. I'm your host, Bez Teon, joined by nobody today. I'll be running it solo, covering the PC Division 2 as the lobby loads in. Let me running through a couple of the details for this race. Before I get to that, though, I want to talk about the pole position racing weekly schedule. Today, as you can see, it's the PC Division 2. Every week we've got races 5 days a week. On Thursday, sorry about the typo, it's going to be PS4 Division 1. Friday, Xbox D4. You can check me out there. Tuesday is going to be our triple header, being the Xbox Divisions 1, 2, and 3. Hungary. Today we're at the Hungaroring, Budapest. It's going to be 35 laps around. 14 turns, 8 to the right and 6 to the left, with a lap record of 1:17.1 set by Max Verstappen at last year's Hungaroring Grand Prix. 2 DRS zones, one along the pit straight, one between turns 1 and 2. Overtaking is at a premium here. Circuit length is only 2.6 miles around, making it one of the shortest on the calendar. With that quick run through, let's head down to the track where they will be starting this up as we speak. All right, folks, live from the pit lane. Looks like we got one Mercedes leaving the garage right now. I don't know if that's Senna or Netmelk. 19 drivers on the grid today. Folks, you'll have to forgive me. I am not particularly familiar with this group of drivers. I usually cover the Division 1 races. Though we've got 2 cars on their outlaps right now. That will be Senna. Max Senna leading us out. Ooh, that's going to be a early spin right at turn 1. Good for him to get out of the way of Only Use. Haven't had a chance to look at any of the driver standings or otherwise, but I do know for a fact that this is a competitive division. Like all of them, PC is always a good showing. I myself am an Xbox driver, but I am looking to make the switch over to this division, I believe, in the future. So I'll watch my tongue and hopefully not insult my future cohorts. Hungary is a really twisty track, a lot of tight corners, not a lot of overtaking. As you can see here, this is the S section we're heading through right now. There's not really a lot going on in the way of straights. A lot of curves, a lot of medium speed corners. Only 2 really heavy braking zones going to be up here at the end of the S as well as at the end of the pit straight. No word on what the weather is for the race. On board now with Only Use. DRS wide open, getting that car turned all the way up into top gear here, into the first corner. A little traffic ahead. Let's hope he can negotiate it. A little early on the brakes, turning in, getting that apex done beautifully. A little late right-hander. The track starts to fall away from you. Down to turn 2, the other great overtaking spot, a very difficult braking zone. Downhill and to the left. You do want to try and brake in a straight line. This track really does test your discipline and patience under braking. Into the fast left-hander. Let's see what line he decides to take. Touch of that inside curb. A little bit of a snap there, but nothing crazy. Hanging that right-hander there beautifully now. Into the chicane. Let's see. Right at the 50 board turning in. Let's see if it takes a little bit of that inside curb. No, he won't take too much. Good for Ozone to get out of the way there. Into the S's now. Let's see here. Nice long left-hander before the right-hander. That racing point of Only Use looking very, very planted. Into the final loop of the ring here. The awkward uphill left-hander. That's going to be a drainage gutter on your left. You do not want to put your tire in there. It will send you around. Into the right-hander now. Same thing. Avoid that white curb as best you can. Pit straight time, though. DRS wide open across the line. It's going to be a 1:17.7. 1:17.7 is your time to beat. If he is on the soft tire, and I bet a lot of our cars might be, let's have a look at what tires are fitted. Mediums and softs. So a bit of a mix of strategy here. I know I have it on good authority. It is a one-stop race. You want to try and aim to go medium hard is optimal. You can start on the softs, but you will find yourself at a huge disadvantage later in the race, track position being so important around here. Nico Rosberg famously coined the term that this place is the Monaco of circuits, which is a term of terms in contradiction, but regardless, it is a tight, twisty circuit. There are a lot of walls. There's not a lot of room for error, and certainly nothing that, lots of challenges, to say the least. On board with Doth Thou Hoist. I don't believe I do hoist. Into turn one, little bit of traffic ahead, though. That's going to be Gabe in the Renault up there. Into the downhill portion. Taking a lot of that outside curb, really missing the apex there, unfortunately. Got a good run, though. Into the left-hander. That's going to be a purple sector. Well done. Good not to run too wide there. Cody's will penalize you. Sticking with that right-hander well. Breaking right around the 50. Very good. Taking a great line through there. Not taking too much of that inside curb. Good downshift into the S's. A lot of drivers out on the softs, curiously. Perhaps we're going to be in for a wet race if there won't be any tire rule in effect. That's going to be another purple sector for Doth. Into the final bit of the loop here. See which line he decides to take. Nice and tight over there. Running right over that pit lane entry line. Beautifully done. Onto the pit straight. Let's see. Good exit through there. Powers down. Across the line. That's a 1:16.7. 1:16.7 is your time to beat. Well done to Doth. Terrier is in P2 with a 1:17 flat, and MRL Henners going to be P3. We got full course yellows as well. We got cars all over the track. Couple cars on the outlap. Here's Squirmy in the Red Bull. RNE, Tiger Racing in the Ferrari. Both on the soft compound tire. Good on Net Milk and Ozone, setting 118s. On those medium compound tires, or hard compound tires, excuse me, only use on the mediums as well. Based on tire choice, I think we might be looking at a bit of a drab race, but qualifying is phenomenal. Budapest, located in Hungary, a very cool city. I've never had the opportunity to go. Oh, ignore that, folks. It's a bit of a connection issue. Looking a little squirmy, no pun intended, through turn one. Let's see how he does into the downhill section. Very late on the brakes, looking very planted there. Bit of traffic ahead. That's going to be Enzo in the Toro Rosso. Good of him to get out of the way. Real estate is at a premium here. Into the fast left-hander. Let's see. Not running too wide. That's a Ferrari. All out of sorts there on track, but he hasn't hindered Squirmy's lap at all. This is a video game, so you don't really have to lift through there. Great. Wow, a beautiful line by Squirmy through the chicane. That is the esports line, folks. Keep an eye out for that. During today's festivities, you will see some of our quicker drivers taking that kind of late entry, early turn in through the apex there. Looks like he had a purple sector, and it's gone. Squirmy on a bit of a stonker here into the loop. Let's see where he turns in. Perfectly done. Not getting his wheels in the gutter. Over the pit entry. Taking that right-hander very well. Full steam ahead for the start-finish. That's going to be P8 for Squirmy. P8 on those soft compound tires. Well done to him. Let us know in the comments what your predictions are for today. I have seen a couple editions of this track so far this season. I've seen, well, not this season, rather this week. I had a chance to watch the Xbox Division 3 and Division 2 races this week, as well as covering Division 1. We've seen a lot of safety car chaos. We've seen a lot of mixed strategies. Definitely a lot of very busy periods punctuated by very unbusy periods. This is a track where elbows do tend to get out as there just isn't enough asphalt for these cars to pass one another. I would pretty much describe this track to be the polar opposite of, just about anything else on the calendar. I know my broadcast partner, IB, was chatting with me the other day, and it said it reminded him a lot of Zandvoort, and I'd be hard-pressed to disagree. Same as Zandvoort. I know we're supposed to see that in about a month's time this season, unfortunately due to the novel coronavirus that will not be happening as planned for now. But Zandvoort, also a very thin track. I know they had to make a lot of different adjustments as well as a lot of different modifications to the track to make it culpable for a Grand Prix. This involved widening the banking, resurfacing a lot of it. Really, really fascinating looks, much like this track. For those of you at home not really familiar with the Hungaroring, it's got a reputation as being one of the best tracks to spectate at due to the fact that it's built into kind of a basin, and all around it is the grandstands, but they're looking down at the track. So where areas at some tracks, for example, I've been to Monza, which is a completely flat track for the most part, it's really hard to kind of see more than one section of track at a time. So wherever you sit there really does kind of determine how much of the race you see. But here, I've been told you can see action in at least two sectors at a time, which is kind of a rarity in any motorsport. So definitely big ups to Hungary. And, a lot like Zandvoort. So there's my 2 cents on that. On board with Netmilk here on some fresh softs. A little squirmy there through the chicane. Love that helmet, though, with the free refills looking pattern on the side. Beautiful line through there. Ooh, and he spun, and that is done. Ooh, stay out of the barrier. That's just going to be a front wing, hopefully. Netmilk getting it all wrong there. Halfway through this qualifying, he will want to scamper back to the pits and quickly set a new time. Very unfortunate for the Mercedes driver. Kermit retired from the session already. Don't know if that was a crash. I've also seen that Doth has retired from the session early. Very interesting choice there. Got a couple drivers on out laps. There's Senna sliding all over the track. Flyer now with RNE Tiger Racing. Having a look at the standings, folks, I'll give you some information on that. Currently sitting in first position in the championship is going to be Terry. No surprise there. He's on pole. Behind him is BTFU, who I don't believe has made it to the grid today. Behind them, Racer 33. Keep an eye out for him, as well as Dump Truck and Henners and Kermit. So that's kind of your top 5 to keep your eyes peeled for. Behind them, looks like we've got Only Use, Stryfium. I can't quite make that out. I'm sorry. Chimera, Tiger, Joshua Burns, Cosmo, Eduardo Andretti, Propulsion X, Blizzard, Nuke, Fusion Dog, The Gaming Hub, Netmilk, Squirmy, and a host of other drivers. And across the line, RNE is going to set 117.5. 117.5. So everyone on the soft compound so far. Safe to assume this will be a wet race, as these times really aren't dipping into the lower levels we saw yesterday. So you can definitely presume higher levels of downforce, maybe some setup adjustments maybe that the drivers had to make before heading out of the pit lane. Something I like to do before every league race is to have a wet and dry setup on the ready, because last thing you want to do is be second-guessing yourself going into a race and not really knowing how your setup is going to handle in the wet conditions. RNE doing well in the Ferrari, though, taking a bit of a squirmy line through there. A little out of shape, running over that curb 4 wheels, but he hasn't been penalized. Into the right-hander, well done, in a great rhythm now, into the hard braking zone. Let's see how he does. Braking nice and early, and that's a purple sector, too. Let's see here. Oh, and that's going to be into the barrier. Oof. RNE getting it all wrong there. Very unfortunate for the Ferrari driver, but that will be qualifying over. And it looks like to me he may have been on for a maybe first or second row grid box. So far, your top three folks: Terry, Ozone, Doth, and then MRL in P4. That's your first and second rows. Sorry about that, folks. We're back live now. 2 minutes to go in qualifying. Ozone on a outlap right now. Could be perhaps one of the favorites to upset the top two. Bit of a glitch there on the left, don't mind that. I don't know if you folks have been watching lately, but there has been some fantastic action in the virtual Grand Prix that have been hosted. Kind of funny to see all these professional drivers really kind of like acting like one of us, which is always a refreshing thing to see. You know, they're people too, after all. It's always a nice human trait to see. Charles, you know, kind of poking fun at himself with the castle section in Baku. Anywho, now, speaking of Ferrari drivers, Chimera on his flyer now. DRS wide open into turn one, braking right before the 50 board, turning in, getting that car down into second, up to third, get the traction. A lot of short shifting, just trying to get the power down to the left-hander. That line taken very smoothly, setting himself up well for the falling away right-hander before the fast uphill left. Let's see. Good not to run too wide there into the right-hander. Ooh, that inside curb could present some issues later. Great line through the chicane. Smooth and planted through there. Terry and MRL going out to hopefully upset Ozone if he is in fact on a flyer. Unfortunately, no purple sector yet. Let's see if he can't stick it in sector 3 here. Let's see how late he breaks. Not too late. Short shift through there, trying to get the power down. Into the right-hander, down the pit straight. Let's see, folks. DRS wide open. He's heading for the line. Nice. 116.1. That's a 116.1. Very good from the Ferrari driver. We got the pole sitter now, Terry, hoping to defend his crown. Time to beat 116.0. Let's see what MRL's got up his sleeve in the McLaren. Into sector 2. No purple sector yet, unfortunately. So that 116.0 is going to be a tough one to beat. So far, 4 cars across the line. Bumpy line through there, no matter. He is flying through the S's of sector 2. My favorite part of this track, without a doubt. Ooh, careful not to run too wide there. Well done. Terry resetting the fastest time, 1:15.8. I don't believe MRL's going to have it in him, but let's see. Never say never. Into the final loop. He's got that corner very wrong. It will cost him some vital tenths. Again, running wide through there, but he's going to have a little more real estate on the exit. DRS open. The car's turned up. That will not do it, folks. Your starting order so far: Terry, Ozone, MRL, Net Milk, and Racer 33. Behind them, MRL, Doth only, and MRL and the Gaming Nub. In the Choose Your Own Adventure category, we've got PPR Squirmy, Tiger Racing, Kermit, MRL, Enzo, Mex Senna, Gabe, Eduardo Andretti, and bringing up the rear is going to be Leave Me Alone. One more time, folks. There is your starting order. Time to beat was a 1:15. We've got Terry on pole position. Joining him for company will be Ozone. Behind them, MRL, Net Milk, Racer, MRL, Henners, Doth, Only Use My Dad, MRL Custom, The Gaming Nub, Squirmy, Racing Tiger, Kermit, Striffium, not to be confused with Joe Exotic, I must say, Enzo, Mexena, Gabe, Eduardo, and Leave Me Alone. All right, folks, it was in fact, yep, that's rain in the forecast. We could be in for a long one here today, folks. Expect a lot of cars getting into trouble. Hungary in the wet is not an easy one. Strategy then, pretty much stay out of the wall. I can't really think of any other advice to give. Driving in the wet is a completely different ball game. You're braking earlier, you're accelerating a lot slower, and you're going to want to not overcook those tires or you will be riding around on ice skates. You can already see those rear tires of Terry spinning around as Ozone's trying to race him on the formation lap here. Look at them weaving left and right to get the temperature in. No idea what the forecast is. We could be in for this for a while. Inters, I don't know what they're rated at a 50% race, but I'd estimate at least pitting around lap 17 just to be safe. Making this about a one stop. I don't know if the rain might get worse or better, but if it does get worse, expect to see those wet compound tires come on. Or if it starts to dry up, maybe expect a couple gambles. Maybe some people going onto the softs, trying to make a gain here in these conditions. I'm sure some of you at home will remember Hockenheim, where Lance Stroll bravely decided to pit early. Great call by his strategist. It put him almost into a podium there at the end if it hadn't been for Daniel Kvyat and Sebastian Vettel storming through the field. Regardless, though, this is now PC Division 2, live from Budapest. It's Best Teon. Let's do this, folks. All right, folks, here we go. Live from Budapest in the wet. And that's lights out. We're underway in a jump start by Racer 33. He's got that one wrong. He will have to serve a drive-through for that one. All the drivers getting a good clean getaway besides him. We're going 3 wide into turn 1. That's the Racing Point of Terry up the inside of Ozone. That's a McLaren on the outside. We got carnage in the back of the field. That's a Mercedes being spun out already. There's damage. That's the Red Bull taking some damage there. Back at the front, though, we've got MRL trying to weave his way through. That's a Ferrari off. That's Racer. He's bunching up the pack. Wing damage everywhere, creating a massive bit of traffic. There's cars left and right. Full safety car. No surprise there. Wow. There you have it. Net milk at the back there. Let's see who's got damage. That's going to be a missing end plate for Racer 33 and a drive-through. I would assume he'll want to knock that one out under safety car, at least the pit stop. MRL's kept it clean. The Racing Point's missing an end plate. The Ferrari's missing an end plate. Got quite a bit of damage out on the track. Racing Point there. Let's see, the Renault's in one piece. Quite a bit of carnage. That Red Bull is missing quite a large chunk of its aerodynamic elements. Squirmy will definitely want to head for the hills for a fresh wing. But the back of the pack looks like they're all in one piece. Safety car will be out for 3 laps. That is standard procedure. Let's see who heads into the pits. We've got no one so far. Interestingly, that's a Toro Rosso staying out. Ferrari staying out. Curious that no one with wing damage. Yep, there we go. Squirmy's in. Toro Rosso's going to decide to stay out despite the aerodynamic damage. Yeah, they will probably try to at least go the distance on those fresh tires, but not much to speak of as of yet. We'll wait for this safety car to end. If you'll excuse me, folks, I am going to step away for just a moment. I'll be back in a second. All right, folks, there you have it. Safety car will be in this lap. Oh, that's Haas car having to avoid a very slow-moving pack. Terry really backing him up there. Of course, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Let's see how and when Terry decides to hit the gas here. Everyone weaving to get temperature into their tires, flipping brake biases back and forth, to and fro. Wet race here at Hungary. Still going very slow, not really getting any kind of getaway. Cars racing each other despite the timing line. And we're back underway, green flags. I would expect a lot of people to have something to say about some of the driving there. Interesting choice by Terry to not try and get a cleaner getaway. Into turn one, though, we've got cars dodging left and right. Everyone just trying to make their corners work here. Into the downhill portion. We're trying to go too wide, it looks. Everyone keeping it nice and tidy so far. Big winners so far, Only Use and Gabe Netmilk, unfortunately, falling 10 positions back after qualifying on the second row there. Such a shame. And that looks to be the Alfa Romeo of Racer 33 diving into the pits. Not sure what that would... Oh, that's his drive-through. Excuse me. Should have known. Terry getting a bit of a getaway here. I take it back. He has kind of left the rest of the pack in the dust with Only Use as his tail gunner. Well done to the Canadian team there. MRL getting past Only Use. Looks like the tail gunner thing hasn't quite worked that well. Tight little threesome here at the front of the pack. Striffium getting past a lot of drivers there. Oof. Only Use gonna miss the chicane there. Henners, though, on the other hand, will say thank you very much, and he will try to overtake here. Oh, and he's going to tap him. And it's going to be a bit of a Constantine effect there as you see all the cars bumping into one another. Ozone falling backwards. Custom and Henners moving up into P4 and 5 due to all the chaos here in the wet. Couple cars into the pits. That's Ozone and Eduardo into the pits now. Side by side, though, Henners and Only Use. Only Use up the inside. Let's see if he can hold it. Bit of wheel rubbing. And he's done well to hold it. MRL in front now. MRL just trying to get past only use at the moment. Probably our closest battle on track. Everything else looking to be pretty far apart. Hungary's a tough one. Even in the dry, you need to you need to be within at least 2/10 of the car in front. So don't expect that to change tonight at all. These drivers will be pushing, though, even despite the treacherous conditions. No DRS as we are in the wet. MRL is going to try to stick one up the inside here. That should be a no-hassle overtake, as only use leaves him plenty of space, not wanting to cause any unnecessary bumping. But he's got a better exit. They're side by side. He's going to try to hold that inside line. MRL doing well to leave him the space. MRL getting back in front again. Wheel to wheel now. Only used running wide. Let's see now. It's going to be nose to gearbox through the left-hander. Everyone lifting off, though, at the appropriate time. Doth just trying to get back in the mix at the moment. Oof. Oh, that's a lot of contact there. Luckily, no one's lost only superficial, I think, at this point. Can see it's so hard to find the right line in the rain. One line, one lap can be so different than a line the next lap. Rainfall is dynamic around the track too, so you never know. Again, more contact from behind. MRL really not getting his braking right. Maybe he should consider adjusting that brake bias of his while he's got the chance. Terry with the new fastest lap, 1:31.273. He's way out in front of this race, 3.5 seconds on his nearest opponent. Excuse my dad going very defensive there. MRL's going to try and stick it around the outside. And well done to the Williams driver. Looks like he's got the move done, though, side by side now. Into the next turn. That's the Racing Point going to try to hang it around the outside. Let's see, turning left. Can he get the cutback? Not quite going for him there. Only use poking right up to him. But it won't be enough, unfortunately. Only use not really getting that chicane right. We got Enzo and Netmelk here in a bit of a dogfight now. Ooh, Enzo getting a bit of a poor exit through there, though. A lot of oversteer. These are indeed treacherous conditions. Side by side again. Into the downhill portion. Wheel to wheel now. Enzo's going to get in front, though. Netmelk very wise to not try and force the issue. So, for those of you just joining us, we are live from the Hungaroring. I'm Best Teon, bringing you all the action today for PC Division 2. Ooh, Netmilk going to try to stick it up there, having a peek, but nothing really going for him. Netmilk running a bit wide there. Snap of oversteer, no problem. He's done well to save it. Nice little threesome here between Kermit, Doth, and Only Use. Not too many drivers really having to pit yet. I wouldn't expect that to happen for at least 5 or 6 laps time. Kermit still not being able to close up to that Alpha. Little snap of oversteer there. Racer 33, though, looks like he's gaining on Eduardo. Good for him. Getting back in the fight despite the jump start. That certainly did hurt his aspirations in today's race. Andretti just getting right out of the way there. Maybe deciding that it wasn't worth the fight in the wet, and he'd rather just try to focus on putting some times in later in this race. Netmilk trying to close up on Enzo still. Doth still about 5/10 back on Only Use. For those of you new to PPR, I'll go ahead and let you all know that we have racing 5 days a week. We've got racing Monday in PC Division 1, Tuesdays, Xbox Division 1, 2, and 3. Oh, and that's a retirement, folks. Sorry to interrupt my own sentence, but that is going to be a retirement there. Let's see if we can't get eyes on the incident with Terry. He will be passing by what looks to be a stricken, is that a Toro Rosso I see on track? We'll find out in just a second. Interesting, there isn't a safety car quite yet. And he's vanished. We're back underway here, folks. Doth really close to Only Use now. MRL catching PPR Squirmy now, it would seem. Squirmy making that early stop for the broken wing, unfortunately. Braking a little late there. Looks to me like the clouds might be parting, though, in this early third of the race. Maybe we can expect to see some dry running at some point today. Though for now, inters, as Jeff would say, inters are still the fastest tire. Doth still trying to close up here. Net Milk, on the other hand, looking very close now to the back of Enzo. Up the inside. Good braking there. That will send him through unless the Toro Rosso is going to have the cutback. It looks like he has, and he's back in front. Net Milk getting a very poor exit through there. Enzo in that Evil Knievel looking helmet. It's going to be nose to gearbox again here for Net Milk. Just trying to get by. Ooh, bit of oversteer there. That could cost him. Oh, wow. Enzo getting it all wrong, but he saved it. Net Milk just trying to get the car intact back in the slipstream now. Let's see, Enzo sticking to the left side of the track. Net Milk's going to go up the inside again. Let's hope he can make it stick. Yes, he has. Enzo's all over the place, and it also looks like our track is drying up here. Maybe we can expect to see some dry running in a few laps' time, especially considering those inters will be running a little thin at this stage. Nice little foursome here. Kermit, RNE, and Doth. This track is still very wet, but that could change soon. A lot of these drivers just kind of slotting in, just hoping for the track to dry up, it would seem. No one really making any significant gains at this stage. Enzo, whoa. Can't find the racing line there, and he's Constantine'd up on Netmelk. I don't want to say that it looked intentional, but it certainly didn't hurt his case, because now Netmelk is just completely had to slam all of his momentum just to avoid punting Enzo into a barrier. Though it is on the car behind to avoid the car in front. That is the rule. Only use into the pits. Let's see what the verdict is. There you have it, folks. Those are yellow compound tires going on for the Racing Point. A very, very aggressive move, thinking he's going to go to the end on those. The track is still seemingly wet. And a wing change. Back out, Only Use will exit the pits well back of his compatriots. But it seems to me, though, just a little bit of moisture left, but the rain has stopped. I wonder if we'll see any more stops be triggered in the preceding laps. On with the leader now, Terry, who's kind of been quietly running his own race, just lapping Eduardo Andretti there. No one into the pits yet. See how Only Use is doing on those mediums. Very tenuous. Just trying to find the right line, get some temperature in. See how he does into the left-hander. Well done. I think it might be time for slicks, folks. Eduardo's still struggling at the back of the pack. Netmelk finally getting past Enzo. Enzo back in front, though, it would seem. These two just can't seem to stay away from each other today, can they? Into the pits. Let's see what they go with. Enzo into the pits. Netmelk into the pits. Striffium into the pits. Medium tires for him. Let's see, is anyone going to fit the soft? Doesn't appear so. More medium tires. Enzo, Striffium, Squirmy, Netmelk, and Ozone in the pits, all going with the medium compound, it would seem. Unless somebody surprises me here. They obviously must feel the track is indeed dry enough to be running the yellow stripe. A lot of oversteer there. Would expect to see our leaders head in at this stage. Back of the pack here. Yep, that's going to be Terry in. MRL. Eduardo still really struggling. MRL coming through the final sector now. Yeah, DRS has just been enabled. Maybe we'll see some overtaking. Gotta love that dropping into manual to coast into the pits. We call that ghost riding the whip up here in the Bay. Mediums, mediums, mediums. Eduardo going onto the softs. Very aggressive move. Enzo still needing to pit. Really fascinating tactic to stay out on the inters. Not sure what that's about. Maybe he lost a bet. Couldn't tell you. Eduardo finally making some gains here. Just got past Gabe in the Renault. Gabe still on fresh intermediate tires. Guess the pit wall didn't get the news about the dry track. Everyone just kind of taking their time getting around here. 15 laps to go, though. Halfway down. Striffy, I'm trying to catch Tiger Racing. MRL trying to make some ground here, just not close enough. He's going to have a look up the inside, but Tiger's just going to cover him off there. Into the right-hander now. Tiger getting a way better run through there. A lot of these cars are in wet setups, which means that downforce is much heavier than anticipated. So following closely will be a difficult predicament for sure. It's going to be new fastest lap by Custom. The 128. 128. Unfortunately, Eduardo Andretti is going to be served a time penalty. Talk about insult to injury, folks. I'm not sure that really makes any difference to his race. And Custom's going to get a 3-second time penalty as well. Striffium still just trying to chase down that Ferrari. Enzo's going to get past Racer 33. Tiger closing up on Kermit now. If you'll excuse me for just a moment, folks, I'm going to step away. I'll be back in about a minute. And we're back, folks. Sorry about that. Just had to step away and use the restroom real quick. We got Ozone trying to close up on only use. All drivers opting for those medium tires will be able to finish the race on them, luckily. Nothing really in the way of changing the order here. Oh, wow, that jinxed it. Only U's got it all wrong through the uphill right-hander, and that will release Ozone to go and chase down Stryfium maybe with about 10 laps to go here. Folks, if you like this kind of action, tune in next week. We'll be live from Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for the 13th round of the PPR Championship. Spa is about as much of a stark contrast as you can get to this track. Helicopter cam gets some great views here in Hungary, I must say. Terry out in front by a comfortable margin of about 7 seconds. 8 laps to go in this Hungarian Grand Prix. Custom's going to be served a 3-second time penalty. Ozone now within about 1 second and some change of Stryfium. Stryfium's going to start seeing that scarlet red Ferrari in his rearview mirrors and probably start to think about putting the pedal down now, as he's looking quite slow. Ozone got the gap down to 4/10 there in just a few turns. I'm not sure what's going on with Stryfium. See how his battery's doing. Looks fine to me. Could be a setup issue then, maybe. Ozone got the gap down to less than a second. No DRS yet. He'll have to look for it. Oh, excuse me. VSC, folks. That's a VSC. Not sure why or what has caused that. But, yeah, there's a virtual safety car. I don't see any incidents really to speak of. We've got Terry into the pits as well as Squirmy into the pits. Ozone's going to be eager to get past Stryfium here. Oversteer there. He may have undone a lot of the work he had put in. Terry, unfortunately, though, is going to come out behind MRL. He has come out on the softs. Would be quite the audacious move to try and claw back in, but he obviously feels that's the right thing to do. Ozone getting it all wrong there. Big snap of oversteer. Let's instead see how Henners is doing as he tries to chase down the former race leader, Terry, though. Terry on those soft match tires should be pretty quick in these dry conditions. I don't see how that Williams can, realistically catch him. Racer 33 must have retired while I was away. I'm sorry, folks. I didn't catch that. Yeah, it doesn't look like MRL is going to be able to catch Terry. Terry trying to set the new fastest lap, it would seem. He has been on it all day, folks, start to finish. Shame he had to relinquish the lead to try and go for the fastest lap, but by his estimates, it was worth sacrificing. Well, in this case, it'd be sacrificing 6 points just for one, so not really sure. There you have it. Interesting tactics, folks. Interesting tactics here. Ozone, though, has caught up to the limping McLaren, it seems. Can he keep it clean through at least one corner? Let's hope so. Striffium having some trouble there. Let's see now. Ozone's going to have the DRS. Striffium's going to have a better run through there. DRS is going to be open. Let's see. Striffium's going to hang to the left. Ozone's just going to stick it right up the inside on the brakes, turning in. I don't see how the McLaren can defend that, but only U's having a poke coming right back. That McLaren's going to have the inside line here. Good on the Ferrari to leave him the room. Onto the marbles. Oh, goodness, and he's lost 2 positions in one fell swoop. Terry, of course, there's that new fastest lap. 3 seconds back from MRL. Let's see if he can't catch him. Only U's now right on the back of Striffium. Striffium just getting real lucky that the Ferrari can't just seem to stay in a straight line. Striffium going mad on the defense now. Only use my dad going through there beautifully, just looking for a way around. Striffium, though, has parked that McLaren right in the middle of the track. Oh, right there. That might be the move, folks. Around the outside. Well done by Only Use. Striffium's going to be kicking himself for leaving the door that open. And now Ozone's going to have a shot here. Ozone dipping it a little bit out to the left and hanging it back right, hoping to gain some momentum. Striffium just really has gotten no pace on those yellow striped tires. Car's just not dialed in. Let's see now. He's going to have the DRS. They should just about do it. Tucked it in real nice. That McLaren just having to stick to the left, almost defenseless to the Ferrari-powered car there. Yeah, no speed through there. He will fall right back into the rearview mirror. Terry, on the other hand, has been on a charge. Now only within 2.3 seconds of the race leader with 3 laps to go. Severely chopping that time gap down. Maybe we'll see something interesting out of him today. I'd like to see a close finish, that's for sure. Into the final corner there. Striffium just staying in front of Netmelk. Netmelk's going to have the DRS, though. Let's see if he can't get something going here. Can he sell him the dummy? Doesn't have to. He'll take it. Up the inside goes the Mercedes. But the McLaren's going to have a way better exit through there. Let's see now. Side by side. Netmelk back in front. Terry, though, looks like he's had a bit of a spin. of some kind, because he's now dropping way back. I wonder what's happened to him. So he's completely backed off on the race. Little multi-21, I suppose. This is the battle to watch, though, folks. We got Striffium on Netmilk. Netmilk and him on similar tires. And we've got yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. That looks to be a car stopped on track. Yes, that was. Enzo, unfortunately, has found himself in the barrier late in the race. Striffium, though, desperately trying to catch that last point. Ozone close on the back of Only Use as well. Two laps here to get it done. He is closed up a lot to Only Use. Gap down to 5/10 here for Ozone. One lap to go in the race. Squirmy's going to get a time penalty. DRS wide open. One lap to go, folks. Last two overtaking zones. Only Use just trying to break the slipstream. Pulling all the way to the right. Back to the left now. Ozone gonna have a look up the inside, late on the brakes. Ooh, and he's gonna think better of that. If I were him, I might have stuck that one through, though. He would have had the door there. Side by side now, Only Use and Ozone in a great dogfight here to finish this off. 3/10 is the gap. Coming into the left-hander for Sector 2. Let's see, Only Use sticking to the left, back to the right. He's gonna try to park that car in the middle. Ozone smart to back off there. Into the loop. Let's see, folks. Bolt taking a nice, tidy line. No oversteer, no spinning. We got yellow flags straight ahead, though. Let's hope that's not going to cause them any issues. This is a great battle to finish this one off, folks. Only Use running real wide. Excuse me. Throat's really dry. Only Use seeing that red car in his mirrors. Not liking that one bit. Sticking it to the middle of the track. You can see he is taking defensive lines through every corner now. The last big braking zone. I think Ozone's a little too far back. He will have to try to out-drag him now. Up the hill, into the final two loops. Let's see. Only Use is going to keep it in front, hugging that white gutter. Over the pit entry line, into the next gutter. Let's see. I think he's going to be too far back, folks. 4/10 is the gap. DRS is going to be open, and he's just... Oh, excuse me, one more lap. Here it is. Only Use going back to the left, back to the right. I misspoke. He's up the inside, late on the brakes. Yes! What a move. There it is. Only Use going to be thinking about coming back at him here, though, now. Not quite. Ozone's back in front. Timed that one perfectly, knowing there will not be another DRS opportunity for the Racing Point. Ooh, Ozone looking a little slow through there. Maybe some connection issues. Let's hope not. Let's see, into the chicane. Nothing really. Ozone just trying to get to the finish line at this stage. Retain that fourth point as opposed to having 2 points. Midfield drivers like myself know all about that grind. You know, when you're in the points, you really got to maintain that position. Final two loops now. Ozone running a little wide. Ooh, Only Use going to have a look up the inside. Ozone sticking to the right side, though. Let's see. Only use, wow, taking a really tight line. That is brave. He's going to be right on the gearbox. He's got the DRS. Is it enough? No, folks. He needed just a few more car lengths, unfortunately. That will do it today. Your finishing order, MRL, Terry, Henners, Custom, Doth Thou Hoist, RNE, and I will finish the rest in just a moment. Tense race, to say the least, folks. Tense race, to say the least. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are in the world. I am Best Teon. I'll run you through your finishing order one more time. Congratulations to our podium finishers as well. Great race for them today. It is not easy work in the wet at all. All right, folks, one more time. MRL, BTFU, Terry, Henners, Custom, Doth Thou Hoist, RNE, Kermit, Ozone, Net, Milk, MRL, Stryphium. Behind them, we've got Only Use, Squirmy, Eduardo, Enzo, Racer 33, Gabe, and the Gaming Nub. Thank you again, folks, for joining us. I am Best Teon, and I do hope you will join us again soon for more great racing here on track. And as I load back into the menu, I will be able to finish this stream. Check us out tomorrow night, folks. We've got our first ever PlayStation race running. It'll be a fun one, that is for sure. I'm your host, Best, and stay classy.